Developed in ancient China, the 5-element system teaches us that everything in nature is connected. The 5 elements, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, are constantly influencing each other in a variety of different ways. Today, we will look at 2 specific cycles, 2 specific ways in which the elements influence and control each other: the generating cycle and the controlling cycle. If you look at the outer circle with lines going from wood to fire, fire to earth, earth to metal, metal to water, and water back to wood, this is the generating cycle in which each element supports and nurtures the following element. We can see this in nature, where wood, the trees, the plants, is the fuel for fire. And in turn, as fire burns down the wood, it releases the nutrients that were stored within into the earth, nurturing and generating the earth element. The earth is where we dig out precious stones and metals. And condensation on metal generates water. Water, of course, is necessary for all plants to grow and live. Thus, water generates and nurtures the wood element. This cycle is also known as the mother-child relationship, where, for example, wood is the mother and fire is the child, because wood generates and supports the fire element. Now, if there's a deficiency of wood, it can no longer generate fire, and this is how imbalances are created in our physical, mental, and emotional health. The second cycle we want to look at is the controlling cycle. You can see it in the diagonal lines between the elements, the star shape at the center. Again, starting with the wood element, it controls earth. You can imagine the plants growing their roots deep into the ground, keeping everything under control. And we can see what happens if land loses its natural forests. Deforested lands are very prone to soil erosion, where the earth gets out of control. The earth element controls water. It can soak up excess water from rainfalls or floods. Water, of course, controls the fire element. If there's a fire we want to diminish or put out, we throw a bucket of water on top. Fire controls the metal element. If we put metal into a flame, it becomes softer, more malleable, easier for us to shape and control. Lastly, metal controls wood. You can visualize a metal axe that we use to chop down trees or their branches to make sure they're not growing too much and out of control. The purpose of the controlling cycle is to create balance and stability. While in the first cycle we see that each element generates and nurtures the next, in this cycle we want to make sure that nothing becomes too much or too out of control. This cycle is also known as the grandmother-child relationship. So the grandmother controls the child. Let's take wood as an example. Wood being the child. Its mother is the water element that nurtures. And the grandmother of wood is, of course, metal, which keeps everything under control and in balance. Now, if one element becomes too excessive, it overly controls its child or grandchild. On the other hand, if one element becomes deficient, it is no longer able to control and keep the balance, so another one might become excessive. And this is exactly why the 5-element system is still relevant for us today, for our health and our well-being. Because only if we live in harmony with these rhythms of nature, these rhythms and cycles of life, can we be healthy and in balance. If you would like to explore the 5 elements, their relationship, their connectedness in your own body, your own mind, your own emotions, I invite you to join my online series, The 5 Elements of Yin Yoga, where we will work with each element specifically through Yin Yoga postures. I hope to see you on the mat soon. Thank you.